Welcome to another edition of the Dateline Downtown podcast. This is your host, Juan Hernandez. Today, I want to welcome one of our fellow staff writers and I believe section editors, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Sonia Sanchez, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I think it's on the board up there. What section do you cover?
I cover the campus life and sports section. I'm more of the campus life section, and I share that section with Jason Rivas.
Oh, I'm assuming you're on campus a lot to be covering that.
Yeah.
I'm not so. Well, I mean, I used to be, but now lately it's just become less and less for as far as classes go.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it's amazing to see you guys from last semester. I've just been very impressed at how everybody's improved, and now that we have this first issue coming out, I think it's out already online for you guys to read, so you can catch everybody's articles and news stories. Just follow all the links. They're all up there. I throw them up there as soon as they're available, so
right.
There's no reason not to read.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sonia, you're a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Okay, sophomore here at UHD. You're also, as we mentioned, section editor, staff writer as well.
Yes.
And the co-captain of the UHD Gatorade dance team.
Correct.
Gatorade dance team, not cheerleading team, as we mentioned before on one of our previous episodes. It was a mistake on my part.
Yep.
But I mean, it sounds like more than what I've been doing. Mm-hmm. You hear a lot of people are a part of organizations like the dance team or the drama team or whatever they have here at UHD. Making it sound like I don't know what they have here at UHD. But what's the before we get into a little background of you, what's the experience been like for you here at UHD since you've been here? This is your second year here, right?
Yes, it's my second year. My experience here has been just really amazing for me because I feel like I have changed as a person and grown. When I started here as my freshman year, I feel as if I was more vulnerable student. I really, I was a freshman, so everything was new to me. I really didn't know what to expect, but it was pretty enjoyable time for me. I mean, I'm the advising center for students that have not declared their degree. They were actually really helpful for me as a freshman student, so they should really keep that up for new incoming students. And my first year here, I think till the end of the first semester, I really didn't get involved with anything. Mm-hmm. So I was one of those students that just came, did my classes, maybe ate something, just left.
Went home.
Yeah. But
I think that's pretty normal because that's what I did when I first started here.
Right.
I just went to my classes and just left right out. I couldn't wait to get home. Maybe left around 11:15, 11:30, and
you just can't wait to sleep in for a little bit or something. Yeah, exactly. So, but that wasn't really enhancing my experience here at school. Mm-hmm. I was told time and time again from other people to just get involved in some organizations. And so, kind of like you were saying earlier, well, what is there really here to join? Mm-hmm. I really didn't know. So I just went off by like my email or something. I got a letter at home actually, and it was the National Honor Society of Leadership and Success. Mm-hmm. And I went to these. It was a process. There was like these steps to take before you can actually get inducted. So there was a lot of steps that I had to do, but I would, for example, we watched some like inspirational videos of speakers, and they were really helpful for me. It's just really good information about finance, anything. They talk about anything you want. I remember watching one from the owner of Tom's Shoes. That was really cool.
What is that?
The owner of Tom's Shoes?
Oh, yeah, that. Is that like a shoe? I'm sorry,
shoes?
I don't know.
You don't know the shoes?
I don't know what that is.
It's called 1 for 1, his little motto. So it's anything they sell. If they sell shoes, they give a pair of shoes to children that need shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they do that with everything. Like they started a new thing that they're making coffee, but they are getting the coffee from like developing countries that desperately need jobs. So that's where they're getting their coffee from. So it's really helping out with poor countries.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, that company. And so yeah, that made me want to become a leader, because I have always been shy. And so this is where like I started changing. Like I feel like this is where I started kind of growing up more as a person, transitioning into adulthood from high school. So I really was trying to figure out how to come out of my shell, and I wanted to write for this paper, actually. I was just too nervous, too scared to apply, but so that's the way I started out. But I just, one day, I saw my next semester the dance team, and then that's when I tried out to be an officer, and I made it. So I've moved up to co-captain ever since that. And then I came here to write for the paper, and I know I came in a little bit financial issues.
Yeah. So
it started out kind of rocky, but I really did enjoy like writing for this organization. And my second year here, I've met a lot of new friends from the dance team and here. So there's just a lot of opportunities here. And yeah, I think I've gained confidence from where I last was.
And you said your major was professional writing?
Yes.
Wow. How's that been like? Have you taken any classes related to that yet, or?
Yes, I actually just started taking my classes now, and I already know that I made the right decision picking that degree. So professional writing is pretty straightforward. When you're writing for anything, directions, a business, companies, it needs to be concise, clear, and the information that you're giving, people should be able to access it easily, know what they're looking for, and finding it quickly. So, for example, some issues with that: legal documents, medical documents. How many times have you read those and you still didn't know what it said? So that's where professional writing comes in, and you want to write more clearly for people, the normal people, average Joes, to understand the information that they need to know.
Wow. That's actually something I considered doing myself, but I think a little too late in the game now. But that's why I started writing for the paper, because I figured, and it wasn't something that I actually wanted to do. I don't know. I just figured out that I was good at it. Like at this point, it wasn't something that I was actually looking at.
Right.
And it turned out okay. Look, we're here. We're actually recording, and I mean that has nothing to do with the paper, but it's still related to it. So
yeah, it is.
Let's get a little bit into a little background of yourself. Were you born here in Houston, or?
Yes, I was. And so was my father, but my mother was actually born in Mexico. So that's where my family's from. They're from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And my grandmother came from Tepatitlan, Jalisco, Mexico. So my family's from Mexico, and I'm from here.
When did your mom come over from Mexico?
She was actually a baby, so she really didn't grow up there. So she still had to get her citizenship. So she has that now, and so does her older sister too as well, my tia. She got her citizenship as well.
So she came over from Mexico. She never lived there.
I think maybe for a little bit.
Oh,
I'm not too sure, but they grew up in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then they came down to Houston.
Wow. How long were they up there for?
They were up there for a while. I think till they were children or teenagers, getting close to adolescence, and then they came to Houston after that. Have
you ever been up there?
I haven't, and they wanted to go back, and I really would love to go. Yeah. Yeah,
you need to get out there because I just recently started getting out there by myself.
Wow.
Because I used to, well, like everybody, used to travel to Mexico all the time since 2001, and lately the only trips I've taken out of Houston by myself have been to Austin, both times.
Yeah.
Not too far away, but close.
Yeah.
But both times I've been with my buddy, and it's I like it down there.
Oh yeah, Austin's
down there, up there in Austin.
Yeah, up there. Yeah, right. Yeah, Austin's really great.
What elementary school did you go to?
Well, I went to Stafford Elementary, actually. It's southwest side. It's by Sugarland. And I stayed in Stafford till my 9th grade year in high school. So I left on purpose after my freshman year in high school because there was just something lacking for me, and I wanted a better academic experience.
So you didn't like it?
No. I didn't like it there. I don't know. I guess I really liked learning, and I felt like I wasn't getting the best experience there. So I tried to do a little research I lived in Fort Bend County, so I looked for a better high school, and the high school I was zoned to was Marshall High School. Same issues there. It wasn't great academic experience there either. So I applied for a school called Rich Point High School, and it was actually a public school, but I still had to apply to get in. Wow. It was a brand new school in a neighborhood called Sienna Plantation. It's a really rich neighborhood, that area, and when I got in because of my grades, my tax scores. At the time, it was tax tests, not STAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I graduated in high school, that's when STAR started happening. But it was just a great experience. I'm so glad that I got into that school because a lot happened for me. Like, so much more happened to me than where I was at Stafford. But Stafford, they're improving now. Like, they've built a lot more and they've grown, so they're improving. So I'm happy for that. But Rich Point, it was a brand new high school, and their goal was to get all their students into college. Like, they had that goal. Wow. And of course, I was for it because I had big plans. So, and it was really, the teachers were really wonderful there. And coming here to UHD, it still feels the same to me. Like, that's how good the teachers were at that high school, that they really were preparing us to go into college.
Did you have an idea when you were in high school what you wanted to do before you came to UHD? Did you kind of thought about it and said, this is kind of what I want to do, or?
Yeah, I took Spanish all 4 years of high school and I really felt like that was the degree I needed to get. Like, I felt like this is my degree. I could be a Spanish teacher. I could be a translator. But for some reason, when I came here, I took a Spanish class. I felt like that excitement was lacking for me when I had it in high school. So I thought I knew in high school, but once I got here, I realized that it wasn't it. So I had to keep doing research again when I was my freshman year here. And I really didn't declare my degree until this semester, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, was that something that you liked, like right from as soon as you started looking and looking and looking, and then you finally found something that you actually liked and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know what the question was there, but
it just
okay.
It just pretty much hit me. This past December, I got a gift from my uncle, and there was these journals inside it and notepads, thank you cards, and he had a message in the card, and it was just telling me to follow my dreams. Don't forget to chase them. And I felt like he was trying to tell me something very important in that card, and it hit me. I was just like, he's telling me what degree I should get, like telling me to realize what I like doing. And I realized I like writing a lot. I wrote since I was a kid. I wrote stories when I was a kid. Like, I just did that for fun.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wrote poems. And in high school I wrote a poem, and I did a poetry slam. I don't know if you know what poetry slams are, but
I may have heard of that along the way in school.
Right.
May have. Yeah, right. You may have.
Yeah, you just say your poem and people snap, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
I remember that.
It was like a competition in my high school at Ridge Point, and I did it, and I was going up against other high schools in my district, and I won first place for my poem.
Wow.
At that time, and I just remember over and over memorizing it, reciting it to my friends, everything. Like, I worked so hard, and I didn't think about if I was going to win or if I was going to lose. I was just working at it, because that poem was something like special to me. It was about being a Latina in America, so it was important to me. So I had such a long background with writing that I felt like I really need to pick my degree in this. And I still loved Spanish at the same time, so that's why I'm going to minor in Spanish as well.
That's great. What was that feeling like, winning first place? 'Cause I know I haven't won that many things before in first place. I did, and I always mention this to my friends. I did win the spelling bee in 6th grade.
Oh, awesome.
First place. Not that count. Well, it does count because, I mean, that means I know how to spell. But looking back, I kind of didn't, like, I don't know. I won the trophy, and it was kind of like, at the moment, it was like, yeah, okay. And then I had to go to, I guess what they call, I forgot what it was called. It was kind of like next level thing, like regional something.
Right. And
from there, I almost made it. I forget what word I screwed up on. I still remember the word that I got when I got the trophy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget that. But it just wasn't like something like yay, I won, or it was something like, okay, I won.
So it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, what's next? Because I mean, I was so used to getting trophies and awards for like perfect attendance and good conduct. Yeah. I keep bragging. Yeah. What else? Honor roll and stuff like that we would get in school. And it just wasn't, to me. It just wasn't like good. Well, it was like a good job done. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and that's it.
Yeah. First, I think for me, winning that, because kind of like you, I wasn't used to winning a lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
I had never won anything by then.
And I basically got the same stuff too. Perfect attendance, and then they always did that at the end of the semester, perfect attendance or whatever. And that was the only award that I would really get, and everybody else would get excellence in this class or top student. So I wasn't used to winning, so winning for me was just very surreal because it's just crazy because my goal was not to win. Well, at first it wasn't, I guess, but then towards the middle I realized, I could really do this. I kept going through each round. So, and I decided to stick to one poem only, and others were switching it around every now and then, but I really loved my poem, so I was like, this is the only one I'm going to say. And it was, the competition was actually via Skype, so there was these educators.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 educators there watching me, and I just had to stand there, look at the camera, like no walking or anything, just look at the camera, recite my poem by memory. And I found it was just amazing because my friends were there that were competing with me.
Yeah.
And they said that I won. I didn't think that, I thought that was it, I'm not getting a trophy. I didn't get a trophy, nothing. I was just like, okay. So I was just happy to know that I won. But then my English teacher calls me back to school. Oh, we're going to honor you with a certificate. I got a plaque. And I was like, what? I thought I was just going to pick it up and go home. But she said, no, like, we're all going to come and you're going to say your poem again. I said, again? I haven't practiced, So I got so nervous. Like, I went in the restroom and said, okay, I got to remember my poem again. So I started practicing. And
next thing you know, we're going to throw you a parade and this and that.
Like, thanks for warning me.
Okay, I guess.
So, yeah, it was fun. But then, I got a little surprised there with the awards.
I think that's a lot of the things that kids nowadays don't get anymore. Because I've seen it nowadays with current generations where you hear about, oh, everybody gets a trophy, and it's like that doesn't work, because you're not showing the kid how to lose, or when you lose, you lose. If you're playing a game, when you see a football game on TV, there's no, hey, this team won the Super Bowl, but you're getting a trophy too.
Yeah.
It's like, it just doesn't make sense. And I think kids miss that a lot nowadays. From when we were still growing up, I know we're not that old, but still, you hear that a lot about kids. Like, oh, everybody gets a medal, and it's like, well, he didn't do anything, or I don't know. To me, that's teaching kids the wrong idea of winning and losing.
Yeah.
You deserve to lose a few. You deserve to win a few. You just gotta. I always hear this a lot from other people. You have to learn how to lose.
Yeah, it's true. You really do, because that's what's going to make you work that much harder for the whatever it is you want, the trophy, the title, winning. And just getting an award for losing kind of teaches entitlement. Like, I'm entitled to get something.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I think that's what you were just actually saying there.
All these kids are, you see kids nowadays, and they've always done this, but talking back to their parents and this and that, and I'm like, I talked to my parents back then. I mean, probably still do to this day, but I knew what I was gonna get if I did that.
Right.
It was either a smack in the face or
something
else, or get something thrown at me.
Yes.
But I don't know. In the time that I've actually had to work with kids and be involved with kids, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, it truly is.
Especially with juveniles, since I've been working with juveniles for a while.
Yeah.
Not a long time, but it's crazy. But that, I'm assuming that's what made you take an interest in writing for the paper here at UHD, right?
What?
All the journals and all this and that leading up to where you are now.
Oh yeah, I was writing for the paper at the time. So I guess
Oh,
the
were you?
paper was my first step.
Oh, okay.
I feel as if this paper is what led me towards part of what led me towards choosing my degree.
Wow, that's interesting.
So there was just a lot of factors into that, how that came about, and even, you know, picking a career, what field do I want to get into, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, those journals really did mean a lot.
Mm-hmm. Would you stay with this paper until you graduate?
Yes, I will.
I wish I could too. I wish I could too, but I'm on my way out. So, but it's been a fun ride for me. Yes. Honestly, it was something that I didn't think too much of it. And well, we've done a lot since then. It's been 2 years already, and we've come a long way since then.
You really have.
With the podcast and with just making the paper have a bigger presence.
Mm-hmm.
And who was that?
That's Josh, our assistant editor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our other assistant editor.
Oh, no, I was wondering if that was Ted, because since I didn't tell him we were doing this.
Oh, okay.
I was maybe wondering if he wanted to come in, but hopefully that door didn't lock.
Any minute he will, probably.
Anywho, yeah, we really have come a long way as far as what presence that this paper has all over the school. I know maybe back then it might not have had that big of a presence. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know. Before I actually started here, when I started here, you know, to be honest, they didn't have much of a presence around here. Right. I didn't even know about it. So when we started, just this past school year, we started doing things a lot more differently, and noticed that we've got enough good traction for a lot of good things, and we've invited a lot of really good people on here. Have gotten a really good amount of response, and we're hoping that it gets bigger by the time we're out of here.
I think it will. I really believe this for many things that are growing. As long as the people are working hard, to make the changes, the organizations and newspapers, they can only get bigger and improve. Cause we have made a lot of improvements in this paper. I remember my first year here getting the paper, and it was a completely different layout on the print. So it was more. Just now, our layout is more sleek, more professional. Yeah. And then you've interviewed a lot of interesting individuals as well for these podcasts. Mm-hmm.
I really have.
Yeah, you have a little bit of everything.
Yeah. No, it's something that I really. It's just a matter of reaching out to people, see if they want to do it, and if they don't want to do it, it's fine. You don't want to do it. I've encountered maybe one or two people like that, or individuals that are just not interested. But it's very rare. Usually most people will say, yeah, I'll do it. And I don't... At first I wanted to do it mainly on specifically about UHD, but then I noticed that was going to be very limited. And now that we have 2 formats, I figured, hey, we can do one format just about news about school and just in general, and the other format we could just do whatever we want, interview whoever we want.
Right. I mean, you can do interviews all about UHD, but at the end of the day, UHD students are not only concerned with UHD, because UHD is the most diverse college in America, and we're in Houston, so we should really be concerned about everything going on in the world if we're the most diverse campus. So that leaves the topics pretty much endless for you to interview whoever you please.
Yeah, and like I told Ted before, this thing is uncensored and uncut, so I rarely cut out anything from here, and People will maybe drop F-bombs here and there, or maybe something will slip out. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. We're all adults here.
Yes.
Doesn't mean we're going to cuss all the time. So, sorry, folks. But also interesting to see that not only has the paper, bigger things have been coming for the paper for the dance team too. The first dance team for you, not cheerleading team like I keep mentioning.
Nope.
Dance team. People, get it correct. For UHD, I mean, before, they did have cheerleaders before. When I started here, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they still have the cheerleading team, right?
Yes, they still have the cheerleaders, and they're still open for tryouts if people want to join. Because
I remember when I started here, I had a cousin of mine that was attending here. I think it was her last year here, and she was a cheerleader for the school. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
And then I heard about this dance team, and I'm like, I got kind of confused. I was like, are they getting rid of like the cheerleading team and moving forward with a dance team, or how does that work? And so I started doing a little more research, as weird as that sounds. But I mean, you guys were featured in the I think it was the first issue of the paper from last semester, or maybe the second issue.
It might have been the third issue.
Third issue, because we only had 4 issues come out.
Yeah, that's true.
And luckily, and I'm surprised we got a lot of attention from that.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I wrote that story just to get us out there, let people know that we're here, because people didn't know that we were here. We're just there, just building everything up. The team was literally just built up. Like, we did everything. We did the tryouts for new members, came up with the name of the team, fundraised. It was a really hard process building up a new organization. It takes a lot of patience. And
yeah, we went through the same thing here. It was just trying to get everything together as far as equipment and everything. And I was like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get this? I didn't even know how to do all this that I'm doing right now. I had no idea. When I was setting up the microphones, I'm like, I don't even know how to, I'm trying to plug it into the computer here, and then trying to plug it into that USB thing, and then we would start recording, but you could only hear one microphone, and then move it around, you could only hear another microphone. I'm like, I'm never going to get this working. And then we just figured it out.
And I think it's just nice to feel like all the work that you put into it has come through, because look at where we are now. Like, we have our uniforms, and then Dateline has their podcast. Right. There's so many improvements from when we started. And we're not even a first-year team yet. Once this semester finishes, we'll be considered a first-year team. So I feel like we've come a long way in a semester.
Now, for uniforms, as far as that goes, you guys perform not only here at school, but at or have you only performed here at the school? Have you performed anywhere outside of the school, like at away games and stuff like that?
No, we don't perform at away games yet, but we're welcome to, perform around Houston, the Houston area. We're considering performing as a volunteer event for Houston Food Bank. So if we do that, that would be really fun. It'll be for the kids, and just to teach the kids some dance moves. I was just kind of wondering if you guys had any away uniforms. You know how football teams and other basketball teams have different types of uniforms when they were at home or away, instead of wearing like the same uniform all the time. Right. Just a suggestion, but no, we would definitely look into that, especially if we get the funding, fundraise. I think white's a good color. See, I'm already suggesting stuff. Thanks. We'll take that into consideration, Juan. Right.
Because the ones you have now are blue and with red like red trim. And
yes, that's right.
I pay attention.
Good. We put a lot of thought into everything.
And how many members of the team are there right now?
Right now there's 10, and tomorrow we're actually having our auditions for new members. Right. So probably by the time people hear this podcast, we'll have new members on our team.
20 members.
Hopefully, yes. We have a lot of more uniforms to fill in. So.
I think we talked about this before about the whole practicing thing. How in shape do you have to be to be in? I mean, not to offend anybody, but like how like do you really have to be in shape, or is that just like?
Well.
Or is it just a matter of learning the dance moves, learning the routines and stuff like that? I mean, I know you guys do a lot of stretching and this and that. It's not just getting in there like. You want to get in there and you're like all out of shape.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we do want everybody that, is going to be on our team to be in shape.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, we do want everybody to be in shape. But you don't have to be if you're just going to try out, Right. You don't have to be. Like, that's not going to, like, shy us away from you if we see the potential in you to be on the team. So, but once you make the team, yes, you would have to start trying to get in shape. So, because we all have to.
Of course. I mean, I know the demands are very high. You're not just going to go in there and try to ace it on your first try.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it really does. And we have high expectations for ourselves.
Yeah, and that's especially for like a dance team. I mean, I don't know anything about dancing, to be honest, but I'm assuming that's just like everything else. If you're a football player or if you're a basketball player, you can't just go in there and shoot some hoops, throw some footballs.
Yeah, you have to put the work in.
Throw down some moves here and there. You can't do that.
You have to do some strengthening, conditioning.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you guys? Who helps you with that stuff? With as far as exercise and all that, do you guys do it here at the gym? At school?
Yeah, we actually the fitness coordinator, Lori at Sports and Fitness, she was actually offering us kind of like a workout session with her for like every Friday morning. I think that was last semester. And, some of the girls were available, but all our schedules are just so, different. Yeah. We have to work around 10 different girls' schedules, so we all couldn't do it at the same time. But so far, what we're doing this semester is just we're requiring each of us to do at least 2 classes of exercise. It could be a dance exercise class or just a regular fitness class or just working out. And that would be like twice a month, I think. So since we can't all meet at the same time and work out, we're going to just have to do it on our own. And they will get rewarded if they do more than 2, of course. We encourage them to stay fit.
A piece of pie or something like that. That'll be very defeating the purpose.
Yes, exactly.
Like, go to the gym and then have some pizza later. It's not a good idea.
No.
I mean, if I were to try out right now, it wouldn't. Not that I want to try out, because I know you can. But if I were to try out right now, it would not go down well.
Oh, why not?
Well, let's just say I'm not in the best shape, as I was a couple months ago. I mean, it's not like I'm fat or anything, but it's just I haven't really been, and I do feel bad about it. Like, I start exercising for a couple months, and then I'll stop, and then I'll just get lazy, and then I'll see videos going up of you guys, and then just doing the routines and all that. I'm like, man, like, if I were a girl right now, I wouldn't be able to pull that off. I mean, I'm not, first, as a guy, I'm not that flexible to begin with. So it's something that I really have to work hard at, and I'm barely starting to get back in there again.
Oh yeah, me too. I just started working out now, like since.
If you ask me to do a split, I'll forget about it.
Yeah, the split takes time. It takes like months and months of stretching and preparing for the.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Too much time.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Yeah, so it takes time and patience for that. But as far as the working out goes, it was the holidays in December, so people tend to slack off during that time.
Yeah.
And I know I did too, so I'm guilty as well.
I think I gained like 10 pounds.
Yeah, same here. I
but I think in the past couple weeks I've lost those 10 pounds already.
Oh,
For those
really?
people wondering, I don't look that because people can't look. This is not pure audio. I'm very I could say like in shape, maybe slim.
Yes.
So it would take a lot of protein for me to bulk up and a lot of weights. But I did notice I weighed myself and I did go up to about 140 and I was like, man, like what happened here? And then it's all just based on what I was eating.
Yeah.
A lot of soda.
Oh yeah.
A lot of just a lot of crap in general.
Right. Exactly.
And coming into the new year, I just decided to just quit drinking soda and just start eating oatmeal. I mean, I've been eating oatmeal for a long time, but eating more oatmeal in the mornings. And I noticed right away, I was like, man, I probably should start exercising again.
Yeah.
I don't want to drop down to like 90 pounds. And be looking all unhealthy and be like, oh, this guy, you don't look right.
Oh yeah. I think I should be doing the same, trying to get toned, get some muscle. So that's healthier weight to gain than fat.
Yeah. And we're not telling you guys to work out, but it's very for your health.
Yes, it's for your health.
I'm not going to be the one telling people.
It's a lifestyle. So.
Please exercise.
Yeah, so we can't talk, We're barely getting back into it. So.
Yeah, barely. I'll say that now, and then tomorrow I'm like, remember what you said yesterday?
What workout?
Yeah, nah, I don't. I used to come down here to the gym every so often. Maybe like 2-3 years ago, I would just go down to the gym, get on the treadmill, and then just start doing all the machines.
Yeah.
Thinking that I'm actually doing something.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not even sure what to do when I go to that gym. So they have trainers there that can help you know what to do and how many.
Yeah, I think that's what I need. I need a trainer to scream at me, say that I need to do one more. Because usually when that happens, I'm like, nah, I think I got it.
Yeah, and they have fitness classes as well that are free for us because it was a part of our tuition. So it's already paid for.
Some nice tuition there. Nice tuition bill there.
Yeah.
I know we mentioned about being with the paper longer since you're still a sophomore. Do you have any other I guess plans that you might have going into graduation, maybe in about 2-3 years?
Yeah.
I know it might seem a little too early still.
Well, no, not really, because before I know it, I'm going to be a junior. So I do need to start getting into internships. I really would like some camera time to see how I could do for television.
Okay.
So if I get into the television side of journalism, I could always do that. And I still want to use Spanish since I'm minoring in Spanish. So if I do television for English or Spanish, or writing for English or Spanish, I can do both. And I know that this is kind of off the topic, but I know that Ted was saying that we might start something as a newspaper in Spanish. I don't know if that's true, but I'd be pretty interested if we did start something like that here. But also just, being a reporter, news reporter, just writing in journalism. That's my goals.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty open-minded because I know life happens and anything can happen. So that's why I just keep all my options open. I told you in the other podcast that for Gatorettes that I was thinking of getting my master's in technical writing. And that's pretty true as well. I do think I would end up doing that. If not after I graduate, then sometime after that. And also just my degree in professional writing. I don't have to go into the journalism field. My degree is not journalism, so I could be writing for businesses on their websites, their social media, and their, just anything for them that they need. I can write grants. There are a lot of options for me. I can get into the PR side. I did an internship for this really small company called Fast to Grow, and I ran their Facebook page, and they taught me how to post on Facebook for businesses. So that's why I run the Facebook page on all the social media for the Gatorettes as well. So that's
big spoiler here. She's the one that does all that.
Yeah, there you go. Now you know who's posting everything.
It's supposed to be a secret, but I guess.
Well, if they hear it now, they know.
Yeah, now they know, and then hey, who knows? Maybe it might be someone else.
Yeah.
We're just allegedly you're the one that does everything.
And you think you could just post whatever and it's good, but there are ways that you would do it professionally for companies as well.
Yeah, that's true. And I forgot who mentioned something about, I don't know if it was Joshua or about including people from the newspaper on the weekly format that we do, that are really interested in actually doing something with journalism and stuff like yourself, and just anybody that would want to do it. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. Just whoever wants to do it. If you want to do it, if anybody else wants to do it.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Because all we do is, for the other format, all we do is just like a little breakdown of the news week of that week, and we usually do it on Fridays, Saturdays maybe even, and it's just kind of recapping what goes on around the world, around the nation, around school. Just a lot of topics to choose from. I'll usually contribute to stuff like sports and stuff that you would know about or anybody would know about.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea.
I think so too. I'd be glad to get into that, and it would really help me out with my future goals.
So for all the folks out there, be ready to hear more people coming on that weekly format. So in case I'm never around, I know I didn't make it to the last one. I know you guys missed me, but no, people are probably wondering like, no, I'm glad he's not on.
No.
But it's very interesting to hear that there are people that are interested in journalism.
Yeah.
And writing for the paper. Because you don't get that. I don't get that a lot. I don't get that impression, because you think that people just come to school and then they just leave. They don't pay attention. But I think as they go along, maybe their third or fourth year, they start noticing a lot of things, like myself, and kind of realize, well, maybe I should have done this a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to try different things. You never know what you're going to get into.
It'll help in the long run.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely will.
Do you have anything that you want to share as far as your social media websites? I know you started your own blog. You want to share that with anybody?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Okay. I didn't even mention that to you. And yeah, I did start a blog. That was part of the. I think I did mention it like briefly, but yeah, I started a blog. It's, if people want to go to it, it's you can go to http:// it's in Spanish, but it's called Pelirroja Sanchez.blogspot.com.
She doesn't have red hair, no. No, she.
Yeah, my hair is black.
No, she does. I think you can get that if you just type it in on the search engine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you should just be able to. Yeah. It's spelled Peli 2 R's, so RROJA, and then Sanchez with the Z at the end.
I think be able to can find it really easy.
Yeah, so you should just be able to search that in Google, and it'll pop up. I've been posting once every week. So my posts switch from English to Spanish, and I pretty much write about anything. I'm leaving my blog open to all different kinds of topics.
English and Spanish, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for all you people out there that do not speak English or do not speak English or read it, you can always catch it in Spanish.
Yes.
So, and if you want to learn Spanish, then that's a good starting point. Okay, we mentioned any Twitter handles, Instagrams, Facebooks that you want to mention. I just ask people whatever they want to share, because I know other people don't want to. They just leave it as like personal.
Yeah. No.
If you want to.
No. Yeah. Sure.
Want to follow you, stalk you.
I'll be okay. Yeah. My Instagram is Pelirroja_Sanchez, and my Twitter is Sonia Ann95. My middle name is Ann, so now y'all know what my middle name is. It's spelled ANN. So my Twitter is Sonia Ann95, and as far as Facebook goes, you can just always find me. Just search my name. Yeah. I go to UHD, so it shouldn't be that hard to find on all these things.
Yeah, and all the other ones too for the Gatorettes. Those are all there. I mean, we've mentioned it before. The Instagram and just search everything under UHD Gatorettes.
Yes.
I think Dance Team on Facebook, and I think that'll redirect you to everything, the Twitter and then the Instagram.
Yeah, because the Instagram posts on Facebook as well.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, it'll redirect you everywhere, and of course, we also post stuff on our social media sites. And you guys know all the websites, should know by now, if you've been paying attention.
Yes.
DatelineDowntown.com. There you can find the podcast, and now that the first issue has gone out already, and we'll continue to keep rolling, you can also read the newspaper online, the e-newspaper. So if you're not on campus, you're not a UHD student, there's no excuse not to read our paper. I mean, we don't just cover UHC stuff.
It's true.
We cover other things too. So, and it's very easy to find. The layout for the website, I've made it very easy for people to get this stuff right away. I mean, the homepage. You go to the homepage, you'll find the podcast, you'll find the e-newspaper, and all the top stories that we'll have on there. So
yeah.
And previous newspapers and previous episodes, they're all there. They're all labeled. So
yeah.
There's no reason to say, oh, I can't find it, or where can I find this?
Yeah, it's easy for me to watch or listen to your podcasts on YouTube because I already subscribe to Dateline. Okay. So all I have to do is find your channel and just click what I like to hear.
There you go, folks.
It's that simple, everyone.
Subscribe. Because
that's it.
I can't get... I tried getting the name for the channel, but I think you have to have a certain amount of subscribers.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah. And since it had never been used, I think right now we're up to like 8 subscribers or 9, maybe. It had never been used, so it's understandable as to why we don't have that many people.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, I know people are listening because I keep track of the statistics, and I gotta say I'm very impressed.
Wow.
That people are actually listening and like it.
That's cool.
Now that we have this new format, it's just a lot better for when I'm not able to interview people, or if I'm not here. I've actually done one at home.
Wow.
Interviewed somebody on the phone from home, and it sounds like I'm actually here interviewing the person that they're actually calling in.
Oh.
But nah, that's not.
So the equipment just must be that good.
No. Yeah, I'm not good. No, I'm just holding the phone up to the microphone. That's pretty much all I did, and it's something that I have considered doing in the future. And for here too, if people can't come down to the school, you could just have them call on the phone, and you can do the interview from there. Or have people. I was actually wanting to have people email their questions or comments or anything, and just do a whole episode on that, just kind of riffing through everybody's suggestions. Something to look forward to about maybe mid-semester, finals, towards the end of the semester. So there's still a lot of good stuff coming before we leave.
Oh yeah, there is.
So we're gonna make you miss us. So no, but I'm sure this will keep going for as long as it can go. I mean, under new management, of course.
Yep, I think you're the only kind of podcast radio in a sense for this school that we have. So I think it's important what you're doing.
Yeah, it's something that we've mentioned to people here at the school. They have taken some interest, but I think it's better if it's kept like the newspaper, student run.
Oh yeah.
So that way you can just interview who you want to interview and talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether that's abortion or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, you guys have all the websites, the YouTube page, the Twitter, the Facebook, Sonia's websites too, if you want to follow her and what she's up to with the Gatorettes.
Yes, I always post about my team too, so.
Do you guys have any, I know we mentioned maybe one or two things coming up as far as the team goes before we wrap up?
Yes. Actually,
at the moment, I mean, I know you guys will have more events coming along the way, and we'll obviously promote them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think on the last podcast, my captain was saying that we would have bake sales on the 10th and 11th of February. So be sure to come out for that. That's on a Tuesday and Wednesday. But yeah, just pretty much tomorrow on January 30th, it'll be probably way past that by the time y'all hear this, but it's the tryouts for our team. So by the time y'all hear this podcast, we'll probably have new members on our team.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure. I'm glad you mentioned it. We'll put that up there on our pages so that people are aware.
Yeah, so I'll be making some calls today for the people trying out to remind them.
Captain going to work here.
Yep. I got some calls to make today. And also, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, okay, I remember now. And we're also just looking into getting a coach for our team as well really soon. Ooh. So hopefully by the time y'all hear this podcast, we'll have a coach.
A lot of good things happening for the team.
Yes.
And for the school and for the paper.
Yes. Our school is definitely growing as a whole. It's really exciting to see it happening, playing out.
Sonia, it's been a very interesting conversation. I want to thank you for coming on, taking the time and to talk to me. Actually, for me to take the time to come up here and do this. But it's been a very interesting conversation, and I hope to have you on again for a future episode, and maybe start including you guys in the weekly news format, which will probably we'll probably do those every Friday if you can.
Okay.
But I look forward to hearing from you again.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck with all your school-related activities and the dance team.
Thank you.
And we'll hope to see you next time. Thank you guys for listening.
Go Gators.